The Demon Slayer is now playing in theaters. The Demon Slayer movie, that is, and I went to go see it in a theater. If it's safe and viable for you to get out to the theater, and you have easy access to one, I'd recommend seeing this movie if you're a fan of the show. Let me go over quick thoughts on on the show because I didn't really talk about this anime before. Frankly, I don't review a lot of anime, and that's not because I don't like anime. I quite the contrary, actually. I like quite a bit of anime, but my thing with anime is um, it's hard to review because number one, I am not clearly I'm not Japanese, and I'm not part of that culture. So, sometimes I watch something and I just don't get it because I'm not part of that culture. I don't understand things like cultural differences. Beyond that, it's also something that is very overhyped by people. Anime used to be this smaller thing, and now it's like this big deal. Everybody talks about anime. And so by the time I get around to watching some of these animes like Naruto, everything that's been said about them, I know, and I go in with those expectations, and I'm sitting there going, I don't get it. I don't like it that much. I'm like, this is okay, or I'm like, this is good, but not nearly as good as everyone says it was. And that's kind of my experience with Demon Slayer. Um, I watched the first season, like a few months back. I think it was back in October, and I haven't seen, and I saw the rest of the show too. And I watched it, and I thought it was good. I thought it was a good show, but I did not think it was nearly as good or nearly as um, you know, talked deserved to be nearly as talked about and overhyped as it was. Like, good show, just not that good of a show. It's like calm down a bit. But I'm glad to say I enjoyed this so much more than the show, and that's not for any particular reason. Besides, this is a great movie. Now I did see the dub. The subtitle, when I bought my tickets, the subtitle was sold out. Like this thing was selling out like crazy, because if you don't know, in Japan, this was the most successful highest grossing movie of all time in Japan. And so when it came to America, and Demon Slayer came to America, in both places they're a big deal. They're huge. And so this movie, when you're already dealing with limited capacity and you have a lot of people want to see this, and when I just want to say, like, this movie, when I saw it in the theater tonight, was more packed than my Godzilla versus King Kong screening. Yeah, that's how many people were there and wanted to see this movie, and I liked it. I thought the dub was pretty good. Like the voice actors they got in this dub were phenomenal. I think they were great. For me, I'm not I'm okay with subtitles. I usually don't do it for shows because my thought is like, if I watch a show, it's kind of hard to watch episodes upon episodes where I have to read the whole time. You know what I mean? Like that, I can do it, but it's not like my ideal way of viewing something. With the movie, I'm okay with the subtitle, but I feel like it's a lot harder doing that in the theater, because I'm trying to focus on, especially a movie like this, which has very quick action and there's a lot of screaming and stuff like that. I don't really want to deal with that while I'm in a theater. Maybe at home I'm okay with that, but not in a theater. And I thought the dub was good though. The animation in this movie, the show already looks really pretty, but it's not nearly as pretty as this movie. This movie is gorgeous. Um, Now, I will say, if you're not a fan of Demon Slayer beforehand, like if you didn't watch the show before you're going into this movie, you will be incredibly confused. This movie does not sit down and go, here's what a Demon Slayer is. Here's who that character. It assumes you have a knowledge of what all this is, and that you've seen the show, and it does. And the plot of this movie is we got a demon who is taking control of this train, and we have all these people asleep, and they're trying to stop this demon from killing all the people on this train while they're asleep. And that's kind of the plot of this movie. And that's a plot that allows to explore interesting things with the characters, add in some new characters, do some interesting stuff with it. It's really good, and I think anybody who's a Demon Slayer fan should definitely watch this movie. And if you've never seen Demon Slayer, I would recommend the show. I'm sure you have heard about it by now if you like anime at all. But yeah, it was a solid 8 out of 10 movie. I had a great time with this movie. I think the score to this movie was phenomenal. I really loved the score of this movie. But yeah, incredible action and everything. It was just great. Great time. Thumbs up. Very good.